Hi, I'm Mandy McNamara, and today for my demonstration speech, I'm going to show you how to make Utica greens. A little mission statement first. We're under total construction, so my house is a little messy, but I'm able to pull this off. So I want to start out by showing you the ingredients that you need first. The green I use is Escadal. How to prepare this is you just actually slice off the bottom like you would any romaine lettuce or any lettuce in general, and then you boil it, and then you have to squeeze it out really tight, like actually wring it out to get all the moisture out of it, because it's like a sponge and it absorbs all the water. I also have, in place of some of the green, because in order to feed 4 to 5 people, you need about 10 heads of romaine. So I substitute some of my greens with kale. And kale you absolutely do not want to boil. You want to saute it in a little olive oil and garlic. And this is the same pan that I'm going to cook my greens in. So I'm just going to leave that to simmer right there and come back this way and show you what else I use. I also use, obviously, my cherry peppers. I'm going to fine chop these, maybe halves or quarters, and they saute with my kale. I use crushed red pepper because I like things spicy. You can omit it if you'd like. Black pepper. Olive oil. This is a key ingredient in greens. And I use hard salami. A lot of restaurants use prosciutto ham, but I find that hard salami is actually more flavorful and just as oily and a lot cheaper. And I also use fresh Romano that I'm going to grate over my greens at the end and mix it all in together. And let's not forget our garlic. That's another huge ingredient. So I'm going to start out by chopping the garlic. And again, I'm just going to give this a fine chop. I don't want it to be too mushy. And I'm not going to saute this first, because I actually have some already sauteed in with the kale. And that's kind of like marrying ingredients together. You marry them together to get the flavors incorporated through everything. So I already did that with the kale. Now this is just going to be for extra added flavor. This is actually pretty simple to make. I know a lot of people get scared by cooking, which they shouldn't, because it's pretty simple. Wash your hands first, use clean utensils, all that other good stuff. For my salami, I'm actually just using a few pieces, 4 or 5 right now, and all you do is slice it. And then slice it in half again. You kind of want bigger chunks so people know that they're in it. There you go. I think that's enough because I'm making greens right now, maybe about 3 or 4 servings. So that's enough. I'm gonna open my cherry peppers. These are hot, so I'm not going to put a ton of crushed red pepper in there, because then you won't be able to eat them. I'm going to use a few more of these than I would normally use, though. So to seed them, all you do is give them a good squeeze. Seeds fall right out of them. And I think they're small enough that I think I'm just going to have these. I'm not going to quarter them. You kind of want these chunky too, so that people know that they're in there. My favorite place to get Utica greens, besides my house, is probably Teddy's in Rome, or Mr. McGill's. It's unfortunately not there anymore, but they won best greens, I believe, along with Chicken Riggies. Okay, so I am going to now move this over here and put this all into my kale mixture. let that saute a little bit longer. Again, I'll probably, after this is over, add more greens. I just didn't really want to do that right now due to the time constraints. I'll add more greens, and I'll add more, probably more cherry peppers. Right now, I just want to actually show you how it's made. These are very, very hard chop. A couple times, once crossed over, and that is it for these. Then you just move them right back into your pan. You're going to turn your heat up a little more to get these going. And I'll clean up this whole mess after as well. Now I'm going to mix it all in together. Salt and pepper it. If I can get it open. Some garlic powder, because you can never have enough garlic. Cut off a decent sized chunk of Romano. Again, it's fresh Romano. Shred it right over. This stuff is like butter, honestly. It shreds so easily and it's so flavorful. You don't need a lot of it because it's more flavorful than the stuff you get in the jars that is already ground up. So all I'm going to do now is get this all mixed in together. Everything's already pretty much cooked, so you don't have to sit here and slave over this and wait for it to cook. All you're really doing right now is melding the flavors together and getting it all mixed in. And I can't tell you how good it smells in here. So right now, this is actually almost done. I'm going to get my breadcrumb and my peppers. Add a little bit. Top it off with some breadcrumb. You can bake it if you want. If you want to get the breadcrumbs really crispy, you can put some olive oil on top of there and put your cheese on top of there and your breadcrumb and throw it in the oven for a couple of minutes. Or you can just do what I'm going to do and cook it on the stove. I don't like it baked. I think it dries out the greens. You can hear it cooking right now. That is enough, definitely enough Parmesan. And that is my version of Utica greens. Like I said, right now it's all finished. I'm just going to let it saute for about 2 more minutes. I might add a little more Parmesan, but it's really smelling strong right now, so I don't know if I'm going to. And that is it. And thank you, and I look forward to seeing what everybody else is going to show me. Have a great weekend.